So we've got our yarn, our crochet hook, we've got our magic ring all set and done. But now you don't know how to crochet into the magic ring here. Well, no worries, I've got you. Let's take care of that. Hello everyone and welcome to Amparo Wonderland. So you want to learn how to crochet in the round, but you have no idea how to do so. So let's go ahead and take care of that, and let's stop talking and let's get yarning. First things first, we want to create our magic ring. If you do not know how to create your magic ring, I do have a video available for you where you can check out the 2 methods that I know how to create a magic ring, and you can choose your favorite that is easiest for you. So now that we have our magic ring, we want to crochet into the magic ring to start working in the rounds. Now you can work with any sort of stitch when it comes to crochet and working in the round, but I am going to be working with the single crochet for this video. If you do not know how to create a single crochet, do not worry, I will show you how to do that. What we're going to do is that we're going to work into our magic ring here. So go ahead and place your hook into the magic ring here. So you literally just slip it right through the loop, that magic ring or magic circle, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to yarn over. You're more than welcome to yarn under, whatever is more comfortable for you, whatever you prefer. But let's go ahead and do a yarn over here. And we're going to pull up a loop. To pull up a loop, you simply pull that yarn that you have on your hook back on this side of the loop and pull it up. So you pull it up, and that is why you call it pull up a loop. And now you have 2 loops on your hook there. And to create the single crochet, you're going to yarn over. We're going to finish this by pulling through this yarn, pull it through both loops that are there. Pull it right through here. Boom. That is your first single crochet. Congratulations, you have learned how to single crochet. Woo woo. So the single crochet, this is going to be in US terms. I do believe UK terms uses the term double crochet for this type of stitch. But for US terms, we are using single crochet. So now that we have our single crochet, we're going to create even more. The usual amount of single crochet that are used in a magic ring, when using this type of yarn, we are going to be doing 6 single crochet into the magic ring. So we have 1 there already. So go ahead and do it again. So place your hook into the magic ring like that. We're going to yarn over. Perfect. Now we pull it up the loop. Bum, ba-dum. And now we have 2 loops on our hook there, right? Right there. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. The easiest way to keep your loops from going all over the place is to keep your hold of the stitches where they are at. So let's go ahead and do that again. So first, we're going to work into our magic ring again. So you want to hold your magic ring here so it doesn't move around too much. So place your hook in the magic ring, and then you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Now this is where I said that you want to have your loop not too loose. You don't want it too loose. You don't want it too tight. You kind of want to have it just right. It usually levels pretty well with the other stitch here. And then you're going to go ahead and yarn over and pull that right through here. But as you can see, I am holding my stitches here to keep my loop from moving its position. And that's it. That is another single crochet. So let's go ahead and keep going and creating 3 more single crochet, so that way we can have a total of 6 single crochet within our magic ring. So let me show you what a single crochet looks like really quick. So a single crochet, as you can see, in your magic ring, it kind of looks just like little loops bonded all together in a row, just like so, right? At the top, if you turn your piece this way, you can see little V's. So each V represents a stitch. In this case, each V is a single crochet. Okay, so as you turn your piece this way, it's just each single crochet has two lines that form kind of like a pi sign. If you look at it, it has the two lines and the horizontal line here. Okay, so those are each a single crochet. So now that we have our 6 single crochet in our magic ring, what we're going to do is that we are going to pull this strand here to close our magic ring, because our magic ring is going to close up like this, like a little circle, so that way we can start working in the rounds. So you grab that end here. With your other hand, you're going to hold on to all the stitches here. I pulled out my hook just to make it a little easier, so you can go ahead and take care of that as well if you haven't already. Now go ahead and grab all of your stitches here. Grab this one with your other hand, and you're going to pull the strand. And as you pull, that strand is going to pull everything together. As you can see, it's slowly closing up. You just pull all the way. Just pull, 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 pull until you can't pull anymore. Just be careful not to snap it off. It shouldn't, but just in case, be wary of that. And now your magic ring, as you can see, is closed. There is no longer a big opening there of your magic ring. And now it's just a closed, filled in circle because of your single crochet. And now if you want to work a circle all the way around, you're going to continue to work into the stitches of the single crochet. There are 2 methods when it comes to working in round. There is the continuous, also known as the spiral round, and then there is the joining round. So for the continuous round, it is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to continue working into the round, literally. So you're going to remove your stitch marker here from your first stitch. Don't lose that stitch because you're going to go into it, okay? So in that stitch, you're going to work with your working yarn, and you're going to go into that stitch. So as I said, each stitch has a V. So you're going to go through here, and you want to have both of those loops on top of your hook. You're going to go through both like that. Right below the 2 loops, as you can see, this is what it looks like. This is above. And we're going to create that single crochet again, since that's the stitch that we're working with. So we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, okay, just like this. It's a little easier because you have more to hold on to as you work your stitch. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. And that's going to be your first stitch of this round. So this is your first or second round. It depends on the pattern you're following. I consider this your second round. So for the second round, we're going to be working 2 single crochet into each stitch, and that is called an increase. So if you ever see the term increase, that means that you are going to be creating 2 stitches into 1 stitch. So let me show you that again. So we already created our second single crochet here, but let me show you how to actually do that. So we had already worked into this stitch here, right? That's where we're at. That is where we are going to create another single crochet. So you're not moving on to the next stitch, you're staying in the same stitch. So place your hook into that same exact stitch. Do not move on. You're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so now you have 2 single crochet, but you've only worked into 1 stitch from the previous round. Okay, so let's do that again. We're gonna go into the next stitch. You place your hook into the stitch. You want to have 2 loops on top, okay, the little chain looking thing. And then you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And again, we're going to work into that same stitch and create your single crochet. And this round is all increases, so that means you're going to do a single crochet into each stitch. Okay, so 2 single crochet into each stitch. And because we started with 6 single crochet, we are going to have a total of 12 stitches for this round. Okay, so round 2 is 12 stitches. And that is what a spiral round is. So a spiral round is when you just continue on without doing a chain or a slip stitch or any other sort of startup stitch. And that's it. That is how you work in the round. And when you're going to continue for the next round, you simply go into the next stitch and create whatever stitch you gotta make in there, depending on the pattern you're making. It could be a single crochet or a half double crochet or a triple or a double, whatever it is, you know. You just continue on, and you want to make sure that you do use your best friend here, a stitch marker, on the first stitch of each round. Because you are working in continuous rounds, you could very easily lose your spot of where you start and end your round. So I advise you, do not avoid using your stitch marker. Always use your stitch marker. No matter how good of a counter you think you are, you want to use your stitch marker, okay? All right. Okay, so now here we go. This is the part where it's a little different from a spiral round. So now, in spiral rounds, you usually just continue to go around. Continuous, you know, a spiral. But for a joining round, we're going to work into that stitch. What we're going to do is that we're actually going to do a slip stitch. Go ahead and keep that marker just to start off, because you could get a little lost with this section. I know I did when I first started. So go ahead and place your hook into that first stitch there, okay? And now we're going to grab our yarn. So do the yarn over or yarn under, whatever is easiest. But we're going to pull up a loop, and what we're going to do is that we're actually going to do a slip stitch. So go ahead and create a slip stitch, which is you pull that loop that you just pulled up, you're going to pull it right through that back loop back there. Just like that, okay? So now we're going to pull this as tight as we can, and we're going to chain 1. That slip stitch is what's going to join your round. Okay, that's joining your circle there. And the chain 1 is just a startup chain. So both the slip stitch and the chain do not count as a stitch. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you have to mark up that slip stitch so that way you know that is not a stitch, you can go ahead and do that. So now we're going to continue. And what we're going to do, the reason I had you keep this marker here is because we're going to work into that same stitch again. Since the chain 1 and the slip stitch do not count as a stitch, we got to make a stitch that counts as a stitch. So go ahead and place your hook into that first stitch, okay, where your stitch marker is. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. And let's finish our single crochet. So you yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, and now that is going to be your first stitch of this round. So this is going to be round 2. So for round 2, what is normally done, it really depends on the pattern you're following. But if you are creating a circle, like a wide circle, you're going to keep going around, you are going to be working increases. So we're going to go again into the same stitch, okay? So go into that same stitch, do not move on, and you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, and that's your second stitch there, and now you have your first increase. Okay, so 2 stitches in 1 stitch, and you are doing your increases all the way around, so you want to make sure that you have 12 stitches. And again, don't forget, your slip stitch and your chain do not count as a stitch. Okay, alright, so I've got my 12 stitches here. As you can see, my magic ring is kind of opening up a little. Do not panic, okay? It is very easy to fix that. All you gotta do is grab that little end that is connected to your magic ring here. As you can see, it's there. You're just gonna pull that. Hold your circle here and just pull it. Okay, and it just pulls it shut. That's why some people don't like the magic ring, but don't you worry, it is an easy fix, just like you saw. And now that we are at the end here, we have our slip stitch and chain 1 remaining there. Okay, and what we're going to do is what we did for round 1. We're going to go into our first stitch here. So go right into that stitch. You can remove the stitch marker if it's too difficult to place your hook into it. And you're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and that loop is going to go right back there because we're doing a slip stitch. Okay, and as I said, that slip stitch is going to join your round. That's why it's called joining rounds. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1 to start up the next round. And we are now in round 3. And don't forget, that slip stitch and that chain do not count as a stitch. Okay, so the next stitch you're going to work again into that same stitch that you're already in with your stitch marker. So go right into the stitch. You're going to yarn over. We're working single crochets, so you're going to create a single crochet. Okay, and again, remove your stitch marker, or you can grab a new one, whatever is easiest for you. It is your project, your journey. You do whatever is easiest for you, more comfortable for you. Okay, and that is how you do the joining in rounds. Yay! So there you have it. Now you know how to crochet in the rounds. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns depending on this, let me know in the comment section down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Also, make sure you click that thumbs up because it really helps me out figure out what type of videos you all like to enjoy and watch and learn from. Also, while I have you here, I do have a freebie available for you all, whether you're a beginner crocheter, advanced beginner, expert, whatever you want to be, or whatever you are. I do have a ultimate crochet cheat sheet, which has charts galore. It has charts of yarn weights, the crochet hook sizes. It has little tips of how to create a perfect circle, for example. There are stitch abbreviations and just so much more. So go ahead and check that out. You can find a link in the description box down below. It is called, again, the Ultimate Crochet Cheat Sheet. So go ahead and check it out. And if you enjoyed this video, then you're going to want to go ahead and check out this video right over here. And it'll show you some more crochet tips and tricks and lessons on how to crochet as a beginner. Alright, so I'll see you there. And if not, then I will see you in the next one. Bye!